What do you see? What doorway do you see? Do you see your imaginational process, your routine, your journey, the holes, the holy mystics, the nesses, the nettles, the roots, the dragon wagon? The dragon wagon I'm sitting in my transport, in this transport matrix, in this illusion, because the eyes are fooling us, I know that, but I just try to decode this system here. And I think I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. On what kind of spell do you live under? I have no idea. But it seems like there is an inner compass in the construction of the mind that we have in order to see what this realm is. And it's your own journey, your own mystic, your stick, your spine, your tools you have inside of you. The mind, your creative mirror, your activities. If you crack in the mirror, you become a king, and you start to hack it. You start to hack truth into the grid. But in the end, I don't even know if you're real, because how would I ever say that another consciousness is existing besides me? I can never really say that. So it's about my own journey, and it's about my magic. It's about what I do. It's about my academy, my demiurge, the the port for my Kundalini snake, and my health in my hell that I create for myself, Basically, I should be complete light, and that's what I am. I know that, but I'm so compassionate, I'm so... Is it still running? Yeah, good. So, I'm so lovely with you and with myself, basically, in the end, that I just keep tracking myself here. That's what I do. And it seems like that's where I should be. I'm so transparent to you and to me, and it's part of my journey, because actually, if you start to realize that nothing makes really sense here, like what we do. I mean, there are so many improved minds that we could do, but in the end, it's all mind. It's all an expression of the inner into the outer that we synchronize with each other to basically make life more easy, make life more enjoyable. But it becomes very pointless if you start to see all the doorways, all the rabbit holes you can get into. So the question should be then, okay, am I anchored in myself? What should I do? Everybody just keeps, I've said that already, everybody just keeps mirroring themselves. But it seems like I'm a pretty big, if there would be another consciousness besides me, it seems like I'm a pretty big key player in this game, which it is sure. I'm very sure about that. But it's not like I know this is a game. I see the grid, and I see the move mind, because I've told you how I see movements. And if you start to develop the eye for the movements, you start to see the grid. So you start to see the trickeries. You start to see the mind behind the ideas, behind the representation of the outer shell. So you get into the pearls. This is why I'm going to get into, and I'm going to be at the seashells. Because if you open up the seashell, you get the pearl. The Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, I live in my like dragon wagon ship here. I observe all of this stream of consciousness in this ocean of fishes. People pee holes don't know about symbolism. That's a quest of perception and perspective. To get to the pearl, to get to the eye, you know, everything is codes, everything is symbols. The quest is, do I like to see that? Would I like to have that? Would I like to perceive that? Well, it seems like it's part of my journey. So there's a bigger force than myself which is telling me I should do that. And this is the Ouroboros, snake eating his own tail, Kundalini, a way greater force, maybe like the Falun from Falun Dafa. I don't know. Should I name that here? Am I allowed to name that? Because what I do is basically I'm a connector. I'm a switcher between realms. I'm a switcher between realities. Internally, externally, literally between realms, between different zones, emitting zones, time zones. I fuse and I bring knowledge of higher realms into this grid. I get goosebumps. You know, like I upgrade this whole system. This is what I do. I source truth, I hack truth into the grid, into the system. And I don't, that's why it's a matrix. It's my tricks. Because I'm so powerful that I can do that. And I do it right here, right now. Everybody could do it if they get the code. And the code is inside of you. The code is Shivamukalpa. You're in therapy. The code is that you are the only limitation to your mind. Your body is limited, that's true. But the body is the spacesuit that you experience, that you have been given for this experience. And like I said, I cannot say per se that you are real. I cannot say that. Oh yeah, and it sounds very, very strange. You're on drugs? You're on psychedelics? No, I'm on the truest, deepest version of myself, and I'm transparent to you with that. That's what I am. But in this society, not many people are transparent, not many people are truthful, not many people are resonating on the deepest level with truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance. But I do. And I share it. This is how I hack the system, how I hack it, information technology. My job is it that I save and I solve your soul out of your dense shit mind program. Because everything in the end is a mind program. You live in a certain type of belief system. You live inside a certain type of parameters that you have been given to experience this realm. But to break out of the matrix, literally, you have to, or you could, use certain practices in order to free up your spirit. And this is basically all inside of you. And it's not connected to any type of Mooney system. It's not connected to any type of material. This is a quest of a switch. This is a switch in your brain, in your mind. It's only about your mind. And if you think, oh no, you cannot do this because I will lose certain things, like what do people think about me? These are all old mind programs which are running down in your system, in your mind. That's how it is. I see the mind programs that people have been informed with and that they live under. This is why I said I cracked my mirror, which sits in here for everybody. And this is when you start to really hack the system. Not when you start, I hack the system. I don't know if you can do it. But this is when you start to see your own mind as a direct reflection outside of you. This is when you start to get to your original powers. This is when you crack also time. You break time, you get out of time, you get out of the worldly attached minds. I don't live in that calendar where you live, probably. Oh, we have 24 hours a day. We have 365 days a year and 7 days a week, and these and that, whatever. I'm an underdog. Like I'm the probably one of the last dragons, tigers in this jungle here. For real. And I'm so powerful that I can survive in this garbage wasteland. This is a garbage wasteland. This is not how the higher realms are constructed. If we would cut, like where I originally come from, this is not how it looks there. And your imagination could give you wings. This is why I'm sharing with all the compassion that I have. You hear this in my voice? Because it really hurts me. It really hurts me to see this. What we have done to ourselves. This shit. I get goosebumps when I say, you look at what we've done. Why is that? We've done that to ourselves because all of the profit that we were feeding ourselves with. It was of all this lust. It was of all because all we wanted to feed our undeveloped soul. Oh no, we have to eat more. We have to. And this is because people are in fear that they could not survive. And people are in fear about what other people might think about them. And I was there also, and I'm so, sometimes I'm not even telling that like people in real life, but I use this mirror to speak my truth and to speak the original truth. And the original truth is that everybody is self-sustaining. You don't need food per se. If you would drink only your urine, you need very less amounts of food. Very less. And you start to become your greatest potential for sure. And this is why I'm sharing that with you. And this is basically if everybody would drink at least, don't want to give you certain parameters with this, but if they would appreciate more what they produce, which is Shivambu Kappa, which is urine, they would be far more advanced with what they do, no matter what. They would become greater. They would become more original. They would become, in all aspects of their life, better. But all these parts which are basically not sourced, which are basically not original, true, self-sustaining, compassionate, they will die. All these things will die. And this is basically what we see right here, right now. This is a transition phase in this transport grid, which it is original. But I was sent here to remind you to the original things. This is only the beginning of a far greater era. And I'm speaking about that because I know what I'm going to say this right here, right now. You don't know who I am. You don't know. And I don't, like, if I would say that right here, right now, you're like, oh, Jan, you're retarded, you're goof. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I should do here any longer. Because I'm giving my best. I'm giving my best to give all of you beautiful souls your code to your original self again. And I really try to keep my mouth shut with the rude language, because this is so like this could be so much more beautiful. And I know in the end, okay, if only I exist, I'm doing this mirror and doing all of this harm to myself. But like I said, I was sent here, Zen, to give you the original things. And I'm strong enough, and I have so much courage and power to speak openly about this. And if somebody would challenge me, which basically in this whole career that in this whole way that I'm walking, in this whole why that I don't sometimes even know why I'm doing that, there were like only a handful of people which were trying to make fun of me, which were trying to drag me down. All like, it's not about like, look at what I do, but just as a reminder to myself. Look at the ratings of my videos. Out of, I don't know, like more, I don't even know how many videos I produced. 300. There were, like, I was taking a few videos down because the beautiful being that I'm with couldn't like handle basically, and I think she's protecting me from all the dumb beings who are not ready to see that yet. Because how humans are is they would like, the parasites would basically then try to kill me. Because I'm way too truthful. That's why I was taking a few videos down, but all the other content that I produced, I don't know, there would maybe be like 3 videos which are rated under 80% of like, this is cool content. And I have already said that it's not about like rating something up or down if you're anchored in yourself. I'm anchored in myself. I know what I speak about. So I don't even take care if you rate my videos up or down or how many views they are getting. But I know that basically my information and my knowledge that I'm sharing with you should be rated and should be subscribed. Like, I should be the greatest, and I know that I'm the greatest YouTuber, and I'm the greatest mirror. I'm the greatest social mentalist that you could ever get in touch with. I know that. But I don't even take care about this mirror because this is like all. But like I said, I'm doing my best to be as transparent and as truthful as I can. But you have no clue how my brain works. You have no clue. And to get to that capacity, you can start to reach things from left to right, right to left, up to down, down to up. You like it becomes very chaotic. So you basically, it seems like you have no structure, but this is how you develop basically an anchor. Because you're only here in this transport matrix to develop your outlook, to develop your perception and perspective. And if I take a look into other YouTubes, into other tubes of myself, if I channel other YouTubers, if I channel other social media channels, what do they channel? They don't channel original things. They like, what do they channel? They channel a certain type of belief system. These beings do not even know how to spell what the letters in the first place are. So you should forget about all the codings that you've been informed with in the first place. This is all completely low. This is very low. that we're operating in here. This low. And we, of course, everybody has to level up in their own degrees, in their own vertebrae, in their own spine, in their own temple. And even I have to, like, even I, you know, like, who am I? I'm nothing, basically. I'm just here to help you, to reach out your hand, to help you to survive in here. Like, sometimes I don't even freaking know, like, what, because I see all these, this is a game. This is, like, you are trapped in this. And then I have to survive here. If I start to see the grid, shit, I have to survive here somehow, someday. Like, what is that? If you start to see that this is all basically a game, that beautiful souls are getting lost in, so they get finally completely destroyed, I try to do my best in order to reach out my hand to them and be like, hey, remind yourself I get goosebumps, you know, like, remind yourself of the original workings. Remind yourself where you originally come from. You can come back. These eyes are so fooling. Listen only to my voice. Listen. Do not trust your eyes. Do not trust your eyes. They are fooling you. Do not trust your eyes. Come back to the original things. Don't trust your senses. Your senses are also getting fooled. I can speak from these things because I am very disciplined with the things that I do. So this is basically only a dream realm projection away, an imaginational magic place, a journey to myself phone, to myself, because it's all alone, all one. It's about yourself. It's about your outlook. You create your own life. You create your own destiny. You create your own journey. And it's about getting to your source. What I basically know, like how my brain is basically working, I think most people would get these types of enlightenments before they basically leave this realm, before like they die, or even sometimes they will never get them. But imagine now that you have this knowledge at my point of life. Like, I'm 27 years old in this realm, but I'm probably way older. I know that for a fact. I'm a very old soul. I'm a very old light. This is why I am so transparent, and I don't really take care about like what do others think. Or I'm one of the original beings, you know. I'm one of the last and latest versions. Like in German they are called Tonkrieger. Like these Chinese warriors, you know, like I do not worry about anything. But these Chinese how are they called? These Chinese warriors, if you know that, type that into the comments, anchor that under this video. These Chinese warriors, which are made out of like stone or something. Like, there's also a specific number to them. I have to look that up after this video. And it's about resonance, it's about cymatics, it's about the elements, it's about your mind. I've been saying that, and I will continue to repeat that because this is the original art. I'm one of the dragons, you know? Dragons and tigers, you see them spitting fire, being original, being Ra, being light, being the sun, being God, being a creator, being a hacker. I hack IT, you know. develop your nervous system, develop your outlook, develop your brain capacity, your perception. I've been giving you these tools, these tools are basically all for free. The quest is, when are you ready to leave your old patterns, your old forms, and get into the next thing, get into the next level, get into the next realm of yourself. And because I was doing all these things, what and where I'm speaking from. I'm not somebody, I'm not a body, I'm not an empty shell who tells you, oh, it works like this, blah 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 blah. And I know when I have to shut up, and I just observe that. But I also know when to talk. And when I talk, and what I talk is the walk. I walk the talk, I'm way too good with spellings, with the poetics, with the spellings, with what this is. And it's basically all in your mind. And does it get erased when I leave here? I'll wake up in a crypto ice bath in another realm. And they are like, hey, you know what? You were only sleeping for like 30 minutes. What was wrong with you? It's like, oh yeah, I just tried to fix Earth. But I made it, and it seems like, yeah, it was all cool, Like I was spending 90 years in here, and these beings did not realize themselves. And then I gave my freaking best. I was truthful, compassionate, tolerant, transparent. I was just how I am. Still, they didn't realize themselves, or all realized themselves. I don't know what the outcome is. The outcome is probably what my outlook is, my vision, my perception, what I'm walking. My way. I do it your way, do it my way. Like, should I continuously try to open and crack up people's mirror because I'm so compassionate basically with myself and with yourself? Because I love myself and yourself basically so much that I continuously spit that. But then the question is that knowledge even for the journey of the other one? If we are all one consciousness experiencing itself from different outlooks, because everything has eyes, and it gets all saved up into a specific storage place, and then we can get from another realm into different perceptions and outlooks, which when we can experience ourselves from there again later. Is that realm constructed like this? What is this? Should I just enjoy it more, be more humble? But this is just these are my thought processes, Am I exhausting myself way too much with it? But it's also fun to me. But it's also, like I said, how my brain works. And their free speech will ever be open. This is how you better spell, No neglations. No neglations. Like, the problem is basically that we talk. The problem is the communication. So I also made some videos maybe where I'm just observing and just sitting, working on my perception, working on what it is. Because basically, if you get really into Shivamukalpa, you're in therapy for the senses, which I do that every day in the morning, before I do my movement, before I do my meditation, my cultivation, Falun Gong, Falun Dafa, before I do my alchemy, or after I've done my alchemy with my supple minds, and to clean out my senses from all the things that we basically observe. That's why I can be so anchored and sourced. That's why I can observe you and see all the synchronistic happenings, And I've said that the problem is always the perception or perspective of mind. But the problem is also that we isolate things. And isolation is important for self-realization, but then the problem is the isolation of the experience. And the problem is basically that consciousness was splitting up itself in order to experience itself. This is the whole virus in consciousness. Hey, consciousness, you were already complete. Why the fuck did you separate yourself from yourself? Yeah, I wanted to experience myself. Hey, okay. But you can come back here and you can realize that all is basically one and the same thing. It's just a quest of how do you observe it. Yeah, but that can't be, like why this color is not equal to that color, and this density is not equal to that buoyancy, and it's all the same. Tolerate it. It's your belief system. That does not mean that this belief system has to be equal with another one. I tolerate you no matter where you come from. I'm just speaking openly about my opinion. That's what I do. If you don't like it, leave this mirror. But you ever heard about the angst, the chematics, the chematic laws, the hermetic laws, the original pharaohs, the crosses? Everybody's like barking and belling and spelling in here and using angst, and they don't even notice that. So this is why I don't even listen. I don't even look at you. And this is because I love you, in order to help you on your self-realization. These two eyes, I will repeat that, these eyes are too fooling. Because when I speak, I spell. If I spell, I construct. But you probably do not know about symbolism and the power behind that. And I'm only scraping on the surface on that, like it's not that I know about all these laws, I know about how all of this works, but I'm having a very good connection to it, and it seems like I'm one of the realized versions who's speaking transparent and truthful about it. Not to hurt you, but as soon as I speak, I probably hurt your belief system because I deconstruct you. But in the end, it's a sine wave, which is anchored, which is Om, so hum, breathing, everything is basically not moving, but it seems like it's moving. So this is what the Maya, the illusion is, the transport station, and you're here to construct and experience your consciousness. Have all these worldly pleasures, but these worldly pleasures, now if you understand the workings, you can work with that, but the problem is also that we have not a system which is giving you the original things in the first place. This is what I do. I share the hermetic laws. I share truthfulness, compassion, tolerance. I share original movement arts. I share good supplements. I share my alchemy. I share an approach which might be helpful or supportive in your journey. So this is why we also say, you could always only plug yourself out of the matrix. This is what Neo does. You can only pull yourself on your own hair out of this shit. And this is metaphorically, symbolic, and literally happening. When you start to be yourself, when you start to become your true version, when you start to grow out your hair, for example. When you start to appreciate who you are, when you start to deconstruct yourself with fasting, with the still waters, when you come back, when you go back in time in yourself through fasting, through eliminating all the waste which is sitting around your waist. And then you become an underdog, an under God. And in the end, the matrix, the illusion, fools your eyes, because it's about your developing your awareness, your consciousness, and it's about IT, information technology, is about the system, the routine or the roots that you can go back to, which is connected to your legs, because you're not very much different. You're basically the same thing as a tree. But these two eyes are fooling, so we think we have to move in the first place. We should not. Basically, for most people, they should not even go to elementary school. They should just sit and shit all the programs out, deprogram, program new. And then we reboot the whole system. So this is what is basically happening right here, right now. This is why we get elimination from so many souls. Basically not souls, they're like, I don't know, like weak. You have to be very strong and rooted in order to survive in here. Because if you really wake up to the truth behind it, that's very tough. That's very tough, let me tell you this. And this is what is happening right now. So we all are basically, as a collective, have to realize things. This is how we then start to reform society. Because in the end, we're all in this together, to get to source back again. So it seems that we're losing something when you fast, but you basically gain spiritual power. So that's also, like I said, the quest of perception and perspective. If you lose something, you gain something. If you gain something, you lose something. That's a universal law, which depends on your type of viewpoint. So improvement, there is nothing to really improve other than yourself. If you improve yourself, you become and you are already holy. But the problem is, as more as we add verses, as I told you, the problem is basically that I speak. But I know that my language is closer to source, or is sourced. So this is why I'm opening up my mouth, because I was shutting up for a long period. But now is the time for change. Because it's won. I have already won. I was winning in here. But I see so many lost people in here that I continue to speak in order to solve your soul out of your thought patterns, because this is not what you think it is. But again, we're doing this all together. This is why I'm very humble, and I let it grow and flow organically, what I construct. Sometimes it seems like I'm overpowered with what I do, and sometimes I know like what I'm doing is so unique and important to the whole realm that I'm just sometimes like, okay, it is what it is. I just do what I do, and I see what I see, and I hear what I hear, and I observe what I observe. It is what it is, and I am what I am. And you are what you are, and that's fine for me, you know. But there is something to everything. There is something to what I say. There is something to what you are. There is something to what we are. There is something why the things occur how they occur. And there is a reason behind everything. There is a deeper layer to everything. There is a deeper understanding to everything, which gets always into the original art's values of truthfulness, compassion, and tolerance. And I have to learn for myself to see my own value, because what I do and how much time and how much willpower and how much energy, how much imagination, how much strength, power, and courage I give into this mirror, which is again in the end only part of my own journey. I know that, but I do that from such a deep bottom of heart that I have to learn for myself that my value is worth infinity. And if we get into like speed of light, maybe imaginational dreams and perception and perspective and a journey to myself, self-improvement, self-empowerment, Loch Ness, the human soul, sun, light, move man, move humans, move humanity, uplifting humanity, like I cannot do more than improve myself and then share that open with you. I cannot do more, because I am not sitting inside of your skull. I'm only an idea to you. But my idea and my symbol and my representation is so sourced that no matter where it gets into, it's cracking up all the falsehood which is dragging the thing down. And this is why I continue doing my thing, no matter what. Because basically, and this is also what I've learned with blind Kalaripayat, with blind movement training, with blind full, yoga, martial arts, that it is about the meta realm, the metaphysics inside my skull, my thought processes basically. What do I have inside myself when I shut down all the portals? What am I constructed with in the deepest level of myself? This is source. This is the empty storage place. And you clean that basically. If you need something material, you clean that out with yourself. You clean that out with what you produce, which is urine. You are here in therapy. You get that? You're in therapy. You are in therapy. You are basically in therapy all the freaking time, but you don't realize that. You're doing all of the representations that you perceive to yourself. That's what you are. You are doing this. So this is why sometimes I'm just observing, I'm just sitting at home and be like, what is all of this? Crazy, right? But hey, we're here to enjoy ourselves. But with joy comes a certain type of responsibility. Because all the things, if I reach out my hand into the grid, I do certain things. And I construct. And I manipulate the system. So to what degree do you manipulate the system? To what kind of extent do you put your energy into the grid? What do you support with your actions? And this is when we get into the meta level again. What do you resonate with? Because in the end, what we see is what we get what we see, we produce what we resonate with, we produce with our mind. So this is why it makes a lot of sense to resonate with certain types of values. And this is how you basically cultivate what you are. I cultivate Buddhahood, but I also, like, what I do is very special. I think there is, like, this is a very special cultivation way, what I walk, what I do. And not many beings are able to walk the walk, or to walk my walk. And basically there is no one who will ever be able to walk my walk, because there are so many walks and ways and whys and different roots and different extensions, different trees, like, but basically this is a tree of life, but you experience the whole thing. You are going into the roots, you are going into the crown, and then you realized, hey, it was all your own temple, your own self. Now, as I was cracking up my whole body, as I was cracking up the whole spacesuit, the whole spaceship, which is myself, which I experienced the realm with, I was like, okay, now what can I do more? Is it about like getting more into the external? Not for me right here, right now. Like, I was doing a lot of different things. Now it depends more on the internal things. Then I realized, okay, now it's not only about going only inside. Now it's becoming more of the journey of synchronizing what I have inside my mind and what I have in what I do in reality. Sometimes I get lost in my mind, sometimes I get lost in the surroundings, and the practice which helps me very much with the whole process is Kalaripaya, because this is working on very much different realms and very much different areas. So interestingly, it is one of the root arts. So this is why I also made a one day decision, okay, you know what, I just speak openly about what I am and what I do, because I at least I see the value in it. I don't know if you see the value in it. I don't know if you think, I don't know what you think about me. And basically that's not even important. It's only important what I do. It's only important how I perceive the world for myself. But I told you at the same time, I'm very much taking care about everybody. I don't, I take care about everybody. If you're young, if you're a baby, if you're a child, it doesn't matter if you're growing up, if you're a young adult, if you're an adult, if you're growing old. I see your soul, I see your light, and I trust in your light, I trust in your soul. I don't even see your mind, I see your soul. That's way beyond that. I trust in what you are. I trust in what you don't even realize yet, basically. I see beyond the shell. I see something in you that you have probably loosened in here, and I remind you of it. Because this is the journey of the shaman. This is the job of the shaman, to be like, wake up to what and who you truly are. Free yourself out of your own constructed lies in order to raise up yourself, to wake up. I'm even beyond a mentor. I'm beyond a mind author. Because like I said, what I do is I help you to remember yourself, your soul, out of this and that. And we don't basically have to go anywhere to do that. You just, high level, you just spend time with me. And you have to maybe sometimes be like, hey, no, Yo-Yan, be yourself at 100% around me. And this is why I also do YouTube, because I'm training myself to be 100% me. Because in this society, because I love all of these people, sometimes I'm very much like, hiding myself. I'm like, okay, no, this is not how we do it. People think I stink because I do urine. People, like, what do they think if I do, like, all these drugs, if I do, like, supplements, if I do this, if I do that? Okay. I mean, I care. The techniques are inside of you. The techniques are inside of me. This is just a reminder to myself to be myself and to be myself in your space, to help you basically to be yourself in your space. And then we can fuse that together to synchronize and share information. But the thing is basically also, this is why I do it on YouTube. Because I know my program is so valuable to a lot of beings, but at the same time, it may sound very strange to a lot of beings who are still plugged into the grid, that I have to consciously plug myself into to be like, hey, you know what, like, I plug myself in to get yourself out. This basically was what Jesus was doing, right? Or Neo from the Matrix. Like, all these movies, if you have the eye to see, which I have. Oh, I'm getting like a resonance here. Cool. Which I certainly have. This is why I'm sharing that. You forget what you want to say, If you develop the eye to see, you start to see all the occulted hidden versions in the movies, in the movements, and life is a movie, Life is my movie. I basically produce my own movie. But in my movie, I would like to help as many souls out of their own constructs to see their own truth behind the mirror. Because mainly this whole thing is flipped, mirrored, hidden, and shelled. And I flip it, crack the mirror, open up your shell, and give you the ability and possibility to reach out to your own pearl, to your own soul. This is what I do. It's very powerful, right? That's what I do. And I do that with the original training techniques that everybody has in here, but everybody is not realizing them. But because they do not have the eyes to see that. And if they have, they do not have the mouth to talk about it. Or if they would have, they maybe have the ears to hear, but they do not see it. But I'm having all the senses to observe it and to be it. And to see it, and to hear it, and to talk it, and to walk it, and to feel it, and to smell it. And in the end, I know that this is all an illusion and Maya of myself, and I just construct this journey. But, like I said, hey, what do I know? Is it important to your life? We see. Are you willing to spend how many minutes are we in? Maybe, I don't know, 40? Are you willing to spend 40 minutes of your time to share it with me, that I basically give you as just a mirror to yourself, and in the end I just mirror myself for my own entertainment? But I know my voice is one of the original ones. Let's just keep it like that. So if I wrote the world, you see that? If I ruled the world, I free up all my sons, and I'm a wonder tree, but I don't wander around here because I'm very, like, original. Like I said that. So I think, and I know I was just saying everything that I had inside of me today, a bit scripted but not completely. Be who you are, stay true to yourself, Jan, because what you do is very powerful. Keep up your own why, keep up your own way. Keep up spelling, keep up being, keep up constructing with your thoughts, with your mind, with what you are and who you want to be and where you want to be. Sometimes I don't even know where my journey is going. This is just a journey and an expression and mirror to myself on my track, on my music, on my vinyl production, DJ station of my voice, of so many germs in here, but who and what kind of germs have the ability, what kind of semen do have the ability to really grow out of this? And I've already grown out of this. The question now is more like, can I sustain and can I be that? And can I grow out my roots and hold up my strength in here? You know, that's basically what a tree does. The tree grows out very much like roots, and I'm for sure a redwood tree. I'm one of the oldest souls, lights, sons of gods in here, and will be able to cut down Ra, because you cannot cut my imagination, because I'm everywhere in the ether already. I was dropping my germs all over the place, so now my information starts to grow in this system. Alright, so enjoy yourself, enjoy the journey, keep being who you are. Keep up open and closing senses at will, and express the inner and outer and synchronize it with each other. Drink Shivam Bukalpa, be yourself. And truthfulness, compassion, tolerance.